Hello, family caregivers. It's Dr. Anna here, and we are talking money today. How are you today? How was your week? Money talks, yes. And I'm so happy to be here. And if we haven't met before, I am Dr. Lana, specialist gerontologist, but with an absolute passion for caregivers. And to be honest, we've really got to get into the self care for caregivers, for you to put your oxygen mask on first, take care of you first. If you can't breathe, you can't take care of anybody else. And one of those things is, how do you provide financially for your loved one? We talked in, this is series three. So welcome back. Yay. And in season one, we talked session one on this episode that was 11. We would have spoken about the whether you should be paid or not as a family caregiver. How much does it cost? And we've learned just from the American Association of Retired Persons, it actually can cost quite a month though. So of the 48 million, can you imagine that in America that have been done from research, as well as the that's from 2020 and 2021, and we know that has increased as older persons have increased. That number is escalating, and most caregivers are not only um, doing other jobs, they may be working full-time or part-time. How are you going to manage all that if it's for over $400 million that has been spent, and each individual caregiver in episode two we saw can put out as much as $7,200 extra a year? Where are you going to get that from? Last week we I kind of put the onus on you. Did you think that was fair? Did you have a family meeting? What was the outcome? Did you draft your personal family care plan? Well, this week it's going to take a little bit of a load off, I hope, and give you some more resources. How about that? But formal resources this time, so that you can actually see what is available to you, and you'll be amazed at what is available to you. Help is always there. Help from formal sources, I should say, is always there. It's always nice when you can draft a plan and family comes in. But if that doesn't exist, if that doesn't happen, let's say you're an only child and you feel and there are no other resources and you've tried all you could do, and you really do have a task on your hand. Let's say an illness has come through. Let's say a sudden event has happened. Medical bills just pop up out of the blue. You still gotta buy food. You still gotta put in gas. You still gotta feed your pets. You still gotta live. You still gotta find a way through. Your and most according to that same research, 30% of persons are actually digging into their own savings. So what is left for you as a caregiver when your savings are depleted, when things happen and you have no nest, no egg, not even strings of straw to fall back on? Caregiving, yes, is a wonderful responsibility, and I applaud you, heroes. But sometimes you have to take the cape off and ask for help. Is that easy? Mm-mm. Asking for help, I I find it personally very difficult to just ask for help, because don't you feel as sometimes you feel like a burden? Sometimes you feel as though I really should be doing this on my own, and sometimes it feels as if you are on the other end of a charity raid, and no one wants to feel as though they're being taken or seen as a charity, a person who needs charity. So here's how you can, if other resources, personal plans don't work out, are there formal resources? We're going to talk a little bit about that, and you can rest assured that there are resources. So I will snip out two groups of people, and that may not apply to everyone. It may apply in places like the United States, persons who have a dedicated program, but it may not apply to everyone. And feel free to leave in the comments below what your challenges are, what you have done, or what you found has helped in your own personal development plan. All right. So formally, um, first of all, there are the two groups that have exemptions. Those are the military and retired veterans. And there are programs, whether there's a debate, I'm not going into the political debates on who gets what, who did what, who needs what more, what's happening, what's not being provided for. There are some very good programs that provide assistance for their veterans, and it's fantastic assistance. If you are a caregiver of a veteran or of war, or you are a caregiver of a military person, there will usually a specific help available to you. Seek that out if that is your case. That's one. But not those two groups don't apply to everyone. And most caregivers, family caregivers, are taking care of someone who has a personal issue, who has maybe done so much in their own society, in their own niche, that they have been they don't fall into that category. So what do? You can't spend all your resources. You can't deplete all of your what you have left. I mean, it's just not realistic. So thankfully, I found some wonderful research, and feel free to just reach out. Remember, it's all about taking the cape off, taking a deep breath, and recognizing it's not charity you're asking for. This is something that is the long game. Caregiving is the long game. And if we play the long game, that means it may be months, it may be years that you may be in this um, role, loving role, heartfelt role, but a role nonetheless that is going to require a lot out of you and a lot of money out of you. Emergencies happen. Emergencies may happen with you. What happens if you get sick? What happens to that next day? So I'm going to talk about four options here that you may take advantage of, and you can check your own personal country, because it is obviously, I'm speaking to wherever you are, you may have a different facility for your country. So I know in the Caribbean, there are many different hubs. There are community hubs, there's welfare, they may be state funded, they may be non-state funded, they may be public or private, otherwise enterprises. They may be not-for-profit organizations. But we're going to go through them bit by bit, and I invite you to please seek which of those may benefit you and which of those you can take advantage of. And remember to, if you find this information helpful as we go along, remember it's going to be updates. Oh, remember to like, subscribe, press the notification bell for further updates. Now we are in number 3 of these 3 seasons of family caregiving and financial discussion. So let's get right into it, shall we? So I mentioned community hubs, social care programs, welfare programs, and either not-for-profit or private institutions which may have a facility that a family caregiver may benefit from, even if it's a stipend, a financial assistance in an emergency, or at least have your name on the list, so that should something arise, you have a quick call, you have them on what's the word, on speed dial. They have you on speed dial, and you know someone you can call. If they don't know you exist, they can't help. So let's start with registering, first of all. And many companies may require that you register. So, can you register as a caregiver? That may not apply in some countries, but what I would invite you to do is to register nonetheless. Where with your community hub and with the welfare program, the social care program, and the private not for profit entities that provide care, whether it's emergency or otherwise. How do you register? Call, email, uh, ask for a meeting, personally go face to face and discuss. If you have an insurance broker, discuss that with him. Do or her. Do I have an option here that I can tap into? Is there a non-paid, sorry, a special insurance company, a special insurance facility for emergencies? And thankfully, there have been emergency facilities, emergency provisions from insurance companies which recognize that, hey, emergencies happen to us all. True, true. Hands up, hands up. If you have been in an emergency yourself and you know what happens. And as a caregiver, anything happens. It happens any day, it happens any night, it happens when you least expect it. That's why it's called an unplanned emergency. So register with, and then some may be more formal than others, but call and set up a meeting and say, I am a caregiver of so and so. You may be the legal next of kin. You may want to look into whether you can be the legal next of kin. We would have dealt with that in planning your personal care plan in episode 2 of the series. But if you're the main caregiver, set that up. Let them know you are the main caregiver of spouse, older person. You are working part-time. These are your funds. This is the assistance you need. This is the assistance the person you're taking care of may need. They may need home assistance. They may need transportation assistance. You will need respite care. They may need additional housebound duties. Just going to the supermarket, just having the groceries delivered, just having things at your disposal that will make it easier for you to do your caregiving with joy, because it's joy, it's sadness, there are ups and downs. Life isn't a straight line, it's a carousel, shall we say, and more. So if you go to your community hub, let's say, register, I am this person's caregiver, or I'd like to be this person's caregiver. That may be a legal issue. That's a separate issue. However, you're putting your name down and you say what you'd like to do, what funds you may need, what assistance you may need, and find out from those places what assistance they provide. So register, name, address, ID, social security of yourself and of the person you're taking care of. How long have you been taking care of that person? How old are they? What are their ailments? What special medications do they have? Have they had any illnesses before? Have they had hospitalizations before? Is it something that may need more care than smaller, let's say, state-funded enterprise may offer? Then what of a private institution? Many of them have grants and they are more than happy to provide assistance to a caregiver who is self sacrificing and showing that they really are serious. You're really serious about getting that assistance. So go to your community hub, social care, private NPOs which provide assistance, and let them know, what do I need to do? What do I need to put down? What form do I need to fill out? How much money do I need? Just ask it directly. How much money do you think I need? And then sometimes the process is a wait. Sometimes you may need to visit the home, visit by Zoom, visit by direct face to face, and find out what's happening. Send a trained professional to come. You may need a nurse. You may need an once every 6 months physician. Who knows? But find out what's available to you. So, just summarizing, there is help available. There is external help available from state funded and private funded entities, which are more than happy to assist. My firm, and I invite you, please, to take advantage of what is available to you. Take advantage of it. Do not feel there is no shame in asking for assistance. You need the assistance. Before you burn out to a crisp, you need the assistance. Money flies, it grows wings, and it just disappears. You need that assistance. Ask for help. Ask for help. What my desire, imagine. I see a world where, and tell me if you can see this as well. I am going to close off with seeing a world that, seeing a system, or seeing a body of whether it's public funded or state funded or not for profit funded, which recognizes caregivers as the entity of themselves, recognizes you as a worker, no longer just going unpaid and exhausted and burnt out. No, no. Mm-mm. But recognizing that your resource is invaluable, billions of dollars worth its weight in gold. My dream, the intention, my vision would be having that entity that is specific and catered for caregivers. So I'm putting out the call there, not for profit organizations, state funded organizations. You may be restricted, yes. Community hubs, community levels. Gather a community, you can do so. Put in a pool of resources. Go and see what help is available. What category do you fit into? You are a caregiver. It is a designation, it is a recognized designation. It is a job of heart and soul, but it is a job that requires hard cash. Let's be real. And so I hope this list, your community fund hub, register, social care, social funded, state funded, welfare, private hubs, and of course, register yourself as your not label, but designation of caregiver. Thank you so much. I loved presenting this series. Tell me what challenges you face. Leave in the comments below. What would you like to see me present next? What topics concern you next? What topics concern you the most when it comes to these things? Would you like me to bring in a financial professional who can discuss these uh, deeper things with you? At least give a guide. I'm open. Until we meet next time, I hope you look back at seasons one, episode 1 and 2. This was number 3 on recognizing your designation as a caregiver. All the best to you. If you found this helpful, like, subscribe, press the notification bell. And until then, this is Dr. Lana, caregiver, passion extraordinaire, saying all the best. Do your best. It's a work of love. Care healthy. Do your oxygen mask. Take care, and everyone else will be taken care of. Until then, bye bye.